What's up, guys? UFC Fight Night. Randy Brown versus Gabriel Bonfim is this weekend, and I am here to give you every single one of my picks, starting with the early prelims and then finishing with the main event. We didn't do so bad last week. We're finally back on track with a good winning record, but yeah. But first, let's jump into how you guys can make money off of viewing the pay-per-views and viewing my channel while watching pay-per-view. So if you guys come to Tapology.com and you join the group, "Haw Man, we gonna have a day," you'll see it here. It is under group tapology.com/groups/2048. I'll link it in the description below as well. But if you guys come in first place in our group, like how Pac-Man77 did on UFC 321, you can win $100. I will send it directly to you through CashApp, like I did with Pac-Man. So feel free to join. It is free to join entirely. I will accept it as soon as I see the invitation or the invite. I will immediately, though, say let's jump right into these fight picks and start off with the first fight of the night of Jackson McVeigh versus Dante Johnson. I've been hearing this fight's not together anymore, but I am going to pick Dante Johnson by... I could actually see him getting kneed in the face by Jackson McVeigh, but I'm going to assume he's going to get the takedown, start landing some heavy ground and pound, and finish the fight pretty easily. We also might get another sneaky submission from Dante Johnson. So picking Johnson by finish would be a smart pick for a parlay. Or under on rounds. Miles Johns versus Daniel Marcos. I am going to be picking Daniel Marcos by decision. I think that he's just a way more skilled fighter. I think that Miles Johns is one of these guys who's not quite at UFC level. This guy probably should not be in the UFC at all. He gives some tough fights, but I mean, ultimately it's always a fight that the guy gets 30-27. He's beaten some fighters. Maybe he does deserve to be in the UFC. It is what it is. I've got Daniel Marcos by decision. He has beaten better fighters. He beat Adrian Yanez, which I think is a good fighter. He lost to Montel Jackson, who is a good fighter. He just loses to higher level fighters than Miles Johns has been. Oh boy, we've got a women's fight, and I don't even have this set up. Wow, look at me lacking today. Makes sense, huh? That makes sense. What are we going by? I think decision. Well, Denise Gomez by decision. Kind of makes sense, if you really think about it. Oh, we've got a blob off, ladies and gentlemen. Although, if I'm remembering right, Josh Hokett was not really a blob. He's a dude who came into Dana White's Contender Series, a couple months ago, and absolutely beat the crap out of the other heavyweight that he was fighting. He took him down just over and over and just TKO'd him. With the record I'm looking at, wow. The guys that this man has beaten have a combined record of losing. I'm going to be picking Josh Hokett by round 1 TKO. I think this is going to be a very easy fight for Josh Hokett. He's going to take him down over and over and just smash him. Oh, hey, another women's fight. An underdog. That's interesting. That's really interesting. That's just really, really interesting. I mean, it is what it is. I guess it's Bruna Marabuena Silva. Oh, put me to sleep. I'm so tired of this. I hate women's fights. I'm not even going with the coin. I'm picking this. They needed a reroll anyway. I can't go against the coin. I can't do it. I have to just accept that it's wrong. That's alright. That's alright, boys. I almost did an infallible thing. Like, I almost couldn't come back from this, but we're sticking with what the coin went with. Now, we get into some real fights yet again. We've got Jamal Emmers versus Hyder Emil. Jamal Emmers being a guy who has lost to Nate Landwehr. That's what I was thinking. Beat Dennis Bazookia. Lost to Jack Jenkins. And I think he is going to lose to Hyder Emil by round 2 TKO. I think that Hyder Emil's pressure and pace are going to be a little too much. I think that Jamal Emmers isn't quite enough of the poke and prod and stand at range and jab, circle, leg kick kind of guy that he needs to be in order to stop Hyder Emil. And he's not really going to learn how to do that at 36 years old. So, yeah. Anyways, let's go on to the next fight of the evening. Oh, man. And I think this is the first card of the fight of the main card. We've got Marco Tulio versus Christian Leroy Duncan. Now, this is a fight to look forward to. These are two impressive, explosive, dynamic strikers. Really fun to watch. I can't wait to see this one. And it's a very close fight. I'm going to be picking Marco Tulio by KO in round number 2. I think that his dynamic striking is a little more set up and has reason as to what he's doing versus Christian Leroy Duncan will just do things. And they're not pretty a lot of the times. But Marco Tulio looked so good in his last fight, and then the fact that he beat Yusri Bolgorui is just aging like a fine wine. I mean, that's an amazing win at this point, but his last win over Trayshawn Gore, I mean, he looked so impressive in the striking that I have a good feeling this is going to be an amazingly fun fight. I'm going to be picking Tulio by round 2 KO. I do think this is a closer fight than that. I don't think it should be how the Tapology odds have it swayed, but I think most people just like Tulio's style and want to pick him because of that. Which got me, I guess. Ricky Simón versus Hani Barcelos is the next fight of the night, and we will be going with Ricky Simón by round 1 KO. I think Ricky Simón is a very solid fighter in this division, and I think Hani Barcelos isn't bad. I just think he's old, and he has a style that is very beatable if you understand how to beat it and have the style to beat it, and Ricky Simón has that counter-grappling or anti-grappling style that just kind of wins. This dude did beat Merab. He beat Merab. Anyways, I've got Ricky Simón being able to stop all the grappling and the submission attempts of Hani Barcelos and then just knocking him out. Might be wrong, might be a decision, but I like the chances that he gets a knockout in that fight. Moving on to the next fight in the lightweight division, we've got Gabriel Bonfim versus Chris Padilla. Bonfim has knocked out Terrence McKinney and decisioned Vince Pichel. He has lost to Benoit Saint-Denis and Nazim Sadikov, two guys who I think should be ranked both. Nazim should be, in my opinion. Versus a guy who has beaten Jai Herbert, Rong Ju, James Lontop, and then we go to no-name guys. He's on a 3-fight win streak, and Bonfim is going 50-50 in the UFC as of lately. If his record holds true, he should win this fight, but also Chris Padilla is pretty solid. But his split decision with Jai Herbert is what has me saying that I think Gabriel Bonfim will win this by decision. He may win it by submission, but I just think that his striking game will kind of lead him through the fight. Chris Padilla, kind of a blockhead. I don't think you're going to knock him out, though, so I think decision's going to be a pretty safe option here. Oh, we've got Muslim Sadikov. We have Dracula. Dracula's back. Drac is back. I am so excited about this, and I can't express how happy I am to see this fight happening. Muslim Sadikov versus Uros Medic. We have Dracula versus some other guy. Nah. I like Uros Medic. He is the favorite in this fight. And it's probably not a good sign. But I'm going to be picking my boy Dracula. That's my boy. I can't not let this man shine on this channel. I love this man. He comes out at 4 billion years old and is out here knocking people out. And it brings a tear to the eye at times. I will be picking Muslim Sadikov by round 1 KO. Read it and weep, folks. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Matt Schnell should not be a co-main event. I'll break it down. Matt Schnell's going to lose this fight either by submission, by KO. Joseph Morales just came off the Ultimate Fighter, won it, and that is really it. Matt Schnell's terrible, though. Like, one of the worst fighters I've ever seen terrible. I would beat him. I know I would. I genuinely know I would beat him. That's a bad sign. You're in the UFC, man. Retire. Get out of the UFC. You do not deserve to be there. I don't know whose dick you suck to be in the UFC, but you don't deserve it. You suck at fighting, Matt Schnell. Anyways, Joseph Morales is going to submit Matt Schnell and make him look like an absolute fraud, because he is. On to the main event. We have Gabriel Bonfim versus Randy Brown. I think that this Bonfim will not get it done. I have Randy Brown by round 2 TKO. I think that he is going to do his normal Randy Brown techniques and just kind of be long rangey and use pressure to end up getting a KO. I think Nicholas Dalby is the perfect example of what should probably happen to Gabriel Bonfim in this fight. I just don't think he's going to be able to find Randy Brown at range, and when he does, I don't think it's going to be very effective. I don't think the takedowns are going to really be there for him. And, yeah. These are going to be my picks. I'll go back over them real quick for you guys so that you can, either put them into your parlay, make them yourself, or whatever. I have Randy Brown by round 2 TKO. I'm pretty confident in that. I'm going to be putting that on my parlay. Joseph Morales by sub. I will be putting Joseph Morales on my parlay. I think that's a lock. Muslim Sadikov. I'm not going to put him on my parlay, but I do love Muslim Sadikov. Ishmael Bonfim by decision. I'm not touching this fight. Ricky Simone by KO. I will be putting him on the parlay. I'm very confident in that. Marco Tulio by round 2 KO. Tulio I'm confident in. I think I'm going to pick him to win, but it's just the decision KO aspect that I'm not too sure about. Hyder Emil, I will be putting him on the parlay, I believe. Round 2 TKO. I think he gets the finish there fairly easy. Mero Bueno Silva, not touching it. It's a women's fight. The coin picked it. And, I wanted to go against it. It was that bad. Josh Hokett versus Max Gimmius. Hokett, heavy favorite, so I don't know that I'll be putting him on the parlay just because of how much of a risk he could end up being. But if I can find a good line like by KO is, some plus money or like close to even money, I'll probably put him in the parlay at that point. Tisha Torres or Tisha Pennington versus Denise Gomez. It's a women's fight, not touching it. Miles Johns versus Daniel Marcos. I've got Daniel Marcos. I'm pretty confident in it, so I might throw him in the parlay as well, depending on how much of a favorite he is. It's not really there. Jackson McVeigh versus Dante Johnson. I'm not touching this because of how Dante Johnson looked against Cedricus Dumas. I am kind of worried about some of the at-range striking that he'll have against a 6'4" guy. Yeah, I am fairly confident in Dante Johnson, just not enough to put my money on it. Anyways, these are going to be my picks. Like I said, you guys can make $100 on each pay-per-view by doing the same thing I just did, but for the pay-per-view cards, as long as you win the event and join my Tapology group. So that will be linked below. Anyways, guys, have a great day. I will catch you guys on the Fight Companion for this terrible card coming this weekend. Bye. Like, comment, subscribe, all that bullshit. See ya. Fucking see ya, boys.